I welcome Sushree Rameshwari Devi ji to Radha Madhav Dham, who is going to give us a pravachan today. And let me give you a brief intro of her. Sushree Rameshwari Devi ji was born in Punjab and raised in Canada. She had unwavering love for Shri Krishna right from the early childhood and came in contact with Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj in the year 1984. And after studying all the Hindu scriptures and learning Indian music under the direct guidance of Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj, she was initiated into sanyas in the year 2011. Since then, she has been enlightening souls in Canada and US with the eternal Vedic philosophy of devotion to Radha Krishna. Didi holds a bachelor degree in arts and science. I request all of you to please listen to her discourse very attentively and kindly switch off your cell phone. Now, as a token of our respect to Didi, I request Parul Patel, who has come all the way from New Zealand, to offer a garland to Didi.
वंदे बरसाना नंदा राधिका परमेश्वरी गोपिका परमां शुद्धां हलादिनीं शक्तिरूपिणी रमेश्वरी प्रपन्नाहं गुरुपादारविन्दयोः तस्य प्रेरणया तस्य दिव्यादेशं वदाम्यहम् नमः कमलनाभाय नमः नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ग्वंहादेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. Spiritually inquisitive, most worthy, most deserving souls, my humble and respectful pranam to you, all of you as well. As a regular spiritual practice, let us chant for a few minutes. राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे
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 राधे राधे गोविंद Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind Govind 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 Radhe.
बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की लाडली लाल की. The bhajan I have chosen to explain at length is from the Premras Madhira, Radha Madhuri, composed by none other than our beloved spiritual master, Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj. Shri Radhe Ju ko ADHADHUNDHA Darbar. So first I'll briefly explain the meaning. Grace is bestowed in unexpected abundance in the court of Kishoriji, Radha Rani. Jin ban charin acharan kutsit jag jehi kaha vyabhichar. Although Gopi's conduct was considered reprehensible, disgraceful according to worldly standards, dharma, righteousness, and it is known as adultery in the world. Why? Because these maidens of Braj, most of whom were married, loved Shri Krishna as their beloved and as the other man, thinking him to be just another man without knowing his original true self as the supreme being, as the supreme personality of God. But just as a patient is cured even when he takes the medicine without knowing what's in it, without knowing its ingredients, in the same way the gopis also were benefited spiritually as a result of even their adulterous love for Lord Krishna. Tin kaha nij sahachari kari hariso karvavati manuhar. And yet the same gopis were made to become friends of Kishoriji. In other words, the boundlessly merciful Kishoriji made them her friends, her female companions. And not only that, she even made the Supreme Lord Shyam Sundar Shri Krishna flatter them, bend before them, bow down before them, before he could approach or reach Kishoriji herself. Jehi rasahi tarasati kamalasi tap kari kari gai har. And even Mahalakshmi ji, the eternal consort of Lord Mahavishnu, went through severe penances for many ages with the desire to gain the seat of the gopis, to gain entrance to the Maharas and drink the sweetest nectar of divine love bliss. But even she could not succeed. And finally, she had to accept defeat. Tehi ban charihi sakhin kiya rasahi ko as saral udar. And yet, Kishoriji allowed those same gopis, those uncivilized maidens of Braj, to participate in the same Maharas, giving them the highest seat, the seat of her dearest, most intimate friends. And in doing so, she revealed to the world her unprecedented kindness, her unparalleled merciful nature. Kaha kripalu yaha jani gahahu mana sharan gaur sarakar. And the saint poet Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj says, "O mind, after knowing the secret of such a merciful court, take refuge, take shelter in the lotus feet of the unique Swamini, Shri Kishoriji." So this is the meaning of the pad, and let us sing a few lines before I elaborate on the subject. आधाधुंध दरबार श्री राधे जू को,
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 आधाधुंध दरबार 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 श्री राधे जू को,
श्यामा जू को,
श्यामा जू को,
आधाधुंध दरबार श्री राधे जू को,
आधाधुंध दरबार श्री राधे जू को,
जिन बन चरीन आचरण कुत्सित,
जिन वनचरीन आचरण कुत्सित,
जिन बन चरीन आचरण दरबार श्री राधे जुगो
आधाधुंध दरबार श्री राधे जुगो
दिन कहाँ निज सहचरी करी हरि सो
तीन का निज सहचरी करी हरि सो
दिन कहाँ निज सहचरी करी हरि सो
तीन का निज सहचरी करी हरि सो
दिन कहाँ निज सहचरी करी हरि सो
तीन का निज सहचरी करी हरि सो
करवावती मनुहार श्री राधे जुगो
करवावती मनोहार श्री राधे जुगो
करवावती मनुहार श्री राधे जुगो
करवावती मनोहार श्री राधे जुगो
आधाधुंध दरबार श्री राधे जुगो
आधाधुंध दरबार श्री राधे जुगो
श्यामा जुगो
श्यामा जुगो
आधाधुंध दरबार. The word darbar means, it could mean a palace, a court, a place where one goes to seek shelter. And Adhadhunda Darbar may be defined as the infinitely merciful court. A court where kripa, grace, is showered in unexpected abundance, in unequaled quantity. Shri Maharaj, Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj, once gave a brief description of what is meant by Adhadhunda Darbar. And yet, in this brief and simple description is contained the deepest of and vast spiritual knowledge. So I am going to attempt to convey the same message while elaborating on one or two philosophical points. So as Shri Maharaj explained, that there are three types of darbar, or courts. One is that of justice, where justice is done, where nyaya is done. For instance, Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself states in the Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha, 929. He says, I am the same to all. I am equal to all. Everyone is equal in my eyes. I treat everyone equally. I do not claim anyone to be mine, nor is anyone a stranger to me. Na mera koi apna hai, na mera koi paraya hai. Neither is anyone my friend, nor is anyone my enemy. I do not need anything from anyone, so I have no need for a friend. And no one can harm me in any way whatsoever. So I do not harbor any animosity towards anyone either. So this is God who does justice. So there is one darbar where there is only justice, where justice is done. And there is one darbar where the opposite of justice, injustice is done, where anyaya is done. Such as in this material world. Suppose my little child was beaten, was hit by the neighbor's child. So I went to quarrel with the neighbor. But after talking to both the children, it was found that my child had hit the neighbor's child first. This was discovered, but nevertheless, I keep arguing with the neighbor. My son did not hit him. No, my son did not hit him. Meanwhile, the son is saying, no, mother, I did hit him first. So this is the court of injustice. Where there is attachment, where there is selfish motive, one acts unjustly there. He acts unfairly there. He doesn't do justice. He rather does injustice there. And then there's another darbar known as ADHADHUNDHA darbar, a court where only kripa, only grace is showered, is distributed freely, abundantly, in fact, limitlessly, without any discrimination or discretion. Even if someone is unworthy, even then, grace is bestowed upon him. For instance, the gati, the destination attained by Yashoda, the mother of Lord Krishna, was the same which was attained by the demoness Putana, and that is to say, the divine abode Golok. In Lord Krishna's descension, one of the most important leelas that took place was when he killed Putana on the day of Chatti. The demoness Putana had been sent by Kans to suckle the divine baby Krishna, poisoned milk, with the intention of killing him. However, Lord Krishna killed her instead. While drinking her milk, he also withdrew, extracted the very life force within her and killed her. And thereafter he sent her to his divine abode Golok. When he was questioned as to why he did that, because she came with the intention to kill him, he gave the explanation, an excuse, that since he had drunk her milk, she was now like a mother to him. So he had no other choice but to send her to his divine abode for all eternity. So this is the work of ADHADHUNDHA darbar, where grace is showered without any reason, without any cause. In other words, whatever excuse can be used, let it be. It's okay. Keep going. We see in big, opulent places or amongst opulent people, everything and anything goes. Everything is given, distributed freely, generously, without much questioning. So this is the Darbar of Kishoriji, of Radha Rani. Such a place where there's only Kripa, only grace. No justice is done there, because no justice is needed there. Justice is done in Thakurji's court, generally speaking. It is said that Thakurji bane bane ke saathi hain. In other words, he is a friend to those whose vessel in the form of this heart is fully prepared, all fixed up, ready to go. In other words, the heart has been cleansed. The drawing room has been decorated nicely. And now Thakurji comes in his swaying style of walking, left, right, and center. He seats himself there, inside it, inside the heart. Once the heart has been completely purified. Now, who will do this work of cleaning the dirt from our hearts? This the Guru does. It is the tremendous work of the Guru to clean layers upon layers of accumulated dirt from our hearts. It is the Guru who makes all the effort. We see even in the world, to rewind a little bit, to go back, Thakurji is bane bane ke saathi. To give you an example, we see even in the world that suppose our little child is dirty, covered with stool, and the father is looking, but he won't pick him up. Instead, he will call his wife. He will yell out, "Oh, Pappu ki mummy, look to see what is happening over here." She will come, the mother comes, she will pick up the child, wash him, clean him, put fresh clothes on him, and then hand him to the father. So in the same way, Thakurji is also bane bane ke saathi. So it is the Guru who makes all the effort in cleaning the dirt from our hearts. He has so much patience, he has so much tolerance that someone may be sitting in front of him thinking negatively of him, thinking ill of him. The Guru knows, but is still thinking. He's still smiling and thinking, it's all right. Think. Keep thinking in this way. How long will you think in this way? One day you will realize that I did wrong. I thought wrong. I committed a sin. I made a mistake. One day he will come to his senses and he will be all right. The Guru hopes. When a child, for example, when a child goes to school, he does not learn everything on the first day. On the first day, he's taught how to write the letter A. But even then, he's not able to make the letter A. It takes him so many days to write the letter A, to learn the alphabet. So in the same way, the Guru knows. It may be that he has also gone through the same process of spiritual discipline in the course of his previous lives before God realization, or it may be that the Guru is Nitya Siddh, an eternally perfect, enlightened soul. So he is omniscient, he's also omniscient, all-knowing. Or it may be that he's an avatari Purush, a descension of God. He's all-knowing. So the Guru knows how much effort it takes for one to become pure, to become worthy, to become good. Therefore, the Guru does the work of the mother. After purifying the individual soul, he seats him in God's lap. And hence, the Guru is accepted, the Guru's position is accepted to be greater than God in this respect. Whatever power God possesses, the same power is possessed by the Guru as well. As the Vedas state, Aparhit papma vijro vrimrityur vishoko vijighatso pipasaha satyakamaha satyasankalpaha. Chandogya Upanishad 8.1.5. The saint comes into the possession of all the powers possessed by God himself. So neither one is bigger nor smaller than the other. Tulsidas ji also tells us in the Ramayana, More man prabhu as vishwasa, Ram te adhik Ram kar dasa, Ram sindhu ghan sajjan dhira, Chandan taru hari sant samira. सब कर फल हरि भक्ति सुहाई, सो बिनु संत न काहू पाई. Tulsidas ji, glorifying the Guru, says the saint is greater than God. And God himself recognizes this to be true. In the words of Veda Vyas, he says, Ye me bhakta hi he parth, na me bhakta stute matah, mad bhaktasya ye bhaktaste, me bhakta tamah matah. Meaning, they who are devoted to my pure devotee are dearer to me than those who are directly devoted to me. Naradji also states in the Narad Bhakti Sutra, Tasmins tajane bheda bhavat. He says there's no difference between God and the saint. Both are equal. The Vedas are also in agreement. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hi artha prakashyante mahatmanah. Shvetashvatra Upanishad 6.23. Meaning, one must worship the Guru, one's spiritual master, in exactly the same manner in which he worships God. It is only the individual who worships both equally, state the Vedas, who can attain supreme happiness, and divine knowledge. Lord Krishna himself tells Uddhavji Maharaj in the Bhagavatam as well. Acharyam mam vijaniyan navamanyet karhichit namartya buddhya suyet Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. 11th Canto, 17th chapter, 27th verse, Bhagavad. The shlok which we recite every morning in the beginning of the prayer. Meaning, know the Guru to be myself. Never disrespect him or find fault with him. Do not utilize your material mind and intellect to comprehend his divine actions. For all forms of God dwell in the Guru. So the Guru is the one who serves our real purpose. God will not come to us on his own. This is why it is said, Guru Govind do khade kaake lagu paay, Balihari Gurudev ki jo Govind diyo milay. He cleans the vessel of our heart and makes it worthy for it to become acceptable to God. If it were not for him, we would never be able to realize God. So the foremost work the Guru does is to teach us, is to make us understand what we should do, how we should practice devotion properly. Otherwise, by thinking ignorantly and foolishly, using our own material and limited mind and intellect, or by listening to the nonsense of others, we start practicing devotion accordingly. And that is to say, wrongly. For instance, one says, do jap. You must do a mental repetition of his name. One says, go on a pilgrimage and visit all the 4 holy dhams to attain salvation. And yet another says, take some water from Gangotri and offer it in Rameshwaram, one of the 4 holy dhams. Gangotri is a place, is a glacier high up in the Himalaya mountains from where the Ganges, the holy river, originates. So someone says one thing, another says something else altogether, and we keep practicing accordingly. That is to say, wrongly. Meanwhile, our mind's attachment to this material world, instead of decreasing, it keeps on increasing. In other words, everything is happening oppositely. It is going in the opposite direction than it should be. So the Guru plays a very important role. He plays the role of the mother, the merciful, the divine mother in the process of purification of our heart. And speaking of the mother, in Kishoriji's court, in Radha Rani's court, there takes place only grace, only kripa, and nothing else. Destroying the evil, killing the demons, that is Thakurji's job. Kishoriji says, I do not get involved in this kind of work. Creating the universe, maintaining it, etc., etc. Let Thakurji do all that. Kishoriji only showers grace. She embraces the fallen ones. And Thakurji embraces the impure, the pure-hearted ones. She only showers grace. Just like in the world, the material mother is considered to be the embodiment of compassion. For example, the child is crying. He has a bad cough. He's coughing and coughing. And then he gets tired and he starts crying. He goes to his mother. Give me some sweets. I want some sweets to eat. The father is leaving for work. As he steps out, he yells. He shouts, no, don't give him any sweets. It'll worsen his cough. Now the child doesn't listen. He keeps on crying. So what happens? The mother gives in. The mother says, all right, I'm giving you, but don't tell your father. This is the condition of a worldly mother. There's that much compassion towards the son, towards the child. There's that much motherly love, vatsalya bhav. even in a worldly mother, then what to speak of the Divine Mother? What to speak of Kishori Ji? Who is Kishori Ji? She is Satchidanandamayi Ma. She is the treasure house of all virtues, of all love, compassion, affection, sweetness, softness, gentleness, kindness, etc., etc. She is the unfathomable ocean, the very embodiment of infinite bliss, love, and compassion. Just imagine her condition, her love towards the individual soul. So therefore, in her court, there is unlimited grace, infinite grace, ADHADHUNDHA DARBAR. You've practiced just a little devotion, just a little sadhana, and her kripa drishti, her merciful glance is bestowed upon you. That is our Kishori Ji. That is our Radha Rani. That is ADHADHUNDHA. That is what is meant by ADHADHUNDHA. Let me relate a wonderful historical event during the dissension period of Lord Ram, which took place in Chitrakoot, in the forests of Chitrakoot, during his exile period. You may have read in the Ramayana that once Jayant, who was in the form of a crow, pecked Sita Ji on her chest. He bit her with his beaks in the presence of Lord Ram, while Sri Ram was resting in Sita Ji's lap. Lord Ram was outraged. He became furious. Of course, God doesn't really get angry, but to teach him a lesson, to punish him, he feigned anger and threw a deadly arrow after him, Brahmastra. So Jayant, the crow, went flying here and there, in fact, in all the three lokas, in all the three universes, begging for, cannot do anything. The supreme power, Paratpar Brahm, has shot an arrow after you. We cannot intervene. We are only like the provincial government. We cannot do anything. Then finally, the great sage Naraji appeared in the scene. Naraji told Jayant, you go and fall at the lotus feet of Sita Ji. Jayant immediately went, flew to Sita Ji's lotus feet, and begged for forgiveness, begged for her grace. Sita Ji looked at Sri Ram and said, forgive him. Lord Ram said, no, absolutely not. He will commit this again if he's forgiven. Sita Ji said, no, that won't happen. All right, tell me one thing, said Sita Ji. She asked her husband, Sri Ram. Na kaschin na pradhyati. Has there ever been an individual soul who, not having received your grace, does not commit a sin? Unless and until one receives your grace, unless and until this Maya does not disappear, everyone commits only sins. What else can they do? This Maya makes them commit sins, offenses. Whatever wrong they do, the doer is Maya. If it goes away, then no one will commit any offenses. Na kaschin na pradhyati. Lord Ram became silent. He thought, whatever Sita Ji is saying is correct. How can anyone, without having attained my grace, be free of sin. Impossible. He looked at Jayant. He said, all right, go. You're forgiven. The same Sita ji who came in Treta Yuga reappeared in the age of Dwapar in the form of Radha Rani. So such is the Darbar, the court of Radha Rani, one of infinite grace and infinite mercy. With these words, बोले कृपामयी दयामयी भोरी भारी सुकुमारी बरसाने वारी की, अलबेली सरकार की, जगतगुरु श्री कृपालु महाप्रभु की जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे. Minutes, so we can chant a little bit more, a few more minutes. We can sing the rest of this bhajan.